At this time, please help me welcome Donna Holbrook from the International Christian Embassy, Jerusalem.
Well, good evening, everyone. We were in Israel for our 43rd Christian celebration of the Feast of Tabernacles during the time of Sukkot. The time of our tour came to an end on October 7th. We had a pre-arranged Air Canada flight, which we managed to get on, but not before seeing the smoke from the rockets and missiles from Gaza, but also we had to leave our luggage outside. We had to take shelter at Ben Gurion, and because there was a red alert, but we got off the ground. I think it was the last flight out of Israel for many, many months. 2 days before that, our delegation of about, we had 3,000 attending the physical feast. We were also hybrid as well. We were down in the very area of the berry forest. What were we doing there? We were replanting the forest that had been burned out by incendiary kites, balloons that Hamas had, blown over to the crops to burn them out, and homes, whatever was in the way. We were in Sderot. We met with the mayor of the Har Negev region. He was killed on October 7th. And we were down in Kibbutz Aza, where we met with a good friend of ours, and the Consul General will probably know, Shaya Harmesh, member of Knesset. We had hosted him here also in Canada. He was there, and we'd helped him with a bomb shelter 2 years before, and he got in touch with our embassy in Jerusalem, said, "You have saved our lives. You have saved my life," because there was a red alert, there were rockets, but in my kibbutz, we were saved. So now we're just in October, and he was interviewed by David Parsons, our VP senior spokesperson, and he was telling him about the destruction of his entire home. Everything was destroyed. The worst would be like for the memories, the pictures, all the family valuables. Right? With his interview, he didn't know until after the interview that his son also was killed. This is the devastation, and the International Christian Embassy has regular service. In March alone, I believe we had 5 ambassador tours for pastors and leaders. We have them for service. Who's bringing in the crops? There was an unusual call-up of reservists. Many, many came to protect Israel. And they had to be outfitted. So we sent 1.5 million to Israel just last year, and most particularly since the war, so that we could buy those emergency vests, helmets, everything that they needed immediately to protect them. Frontal line, first responders, we help with SACA. They have the privilege of collecting up body parts, and it's really grim, but it is a very important and a holy work that they do. With bomb shelters and MDA, Marquee, Idit, ambulances, we were there. We were told by security at the south, in the kibbutz there, that in fact, the ICJ Canada had fulfilled a need 2 years prior. That actually saved up to 3,000 lives. What were they? They were communication devices. These are like $1,000 unit Motorola, state-of-the-art kind of things. But because they had them, they could alert the other kibbutzes to the south within those few minutes to say terrorists, terrorists, and to do something about it. So our work as Christians is really, really important. So I have a little more. I want to tell you a little bit about Matt, though. Just the little interlude here. I didn't know I met Majed, but we were doing the Jerusalem March like we do every year. And he was young and skinny. And people during the march, we'll have thousands of people from about 100 nations, Christians, marching in the Jewish march, the Jerusalem parade. And it's a civic march, but we're invited in as Christians, right? So we wear our t-shirts and caps, you know, our flags, we're looking really kind of spiffy. So we each have a plaque that says which nation are we representing. And we were walking away and Majed comes running after me. I didn't know him then. And I thought he wanted a t-shirt, a flag, you know, like we were getting kind of stripped down by the time the march ended. But he was working for our embassy. He was even doing security for our embassy. So he was all he wanted to do. He kept calling me, no, I just want your Canada plaque. And so he comes to Canada. And why did he come to Canada? Because we welcome everyone, right? But also he didn't have his British accent down for the UK. And he came and his story is riveting. You've got to hear his whole story, his whole testimony, how he was a Muslim Egyptian young man and how he converted to Christianity, how it saved his life. It saved him from persecution, even that he to get out of prison was a miracle in itself, wasn't it? He had to say goodbye to his family. They would only take him back if he continued to be a Muslim. But he had to leave all that behind when he came to Canada. He is the proudest Canadian I have ever met. We went to his citizenship ceremony and I have the pictures to prove it. But here I am as the national director of the International Christian Embassy Jerusalem, trying to reach churches with the message of Israel. That has its barriers. There's a false kind of, there's a mindset and a teaching already in the churches that doesn't recognize Israel as God recognizes Israel. So I thought with Majed, we teamed up. His testimony had to be heard. It was valuable. But it was also a way for me to approach churches to say, if you're not getting Israel, listen to this young man who's an Egyptian Muslim become Christian. And where did he flee to? Of all the countries around in the area, he got that jet ski. Where did he go? He went to Elat, Israel. It was the only place where he could find freedom. So, let me just say the little more formal part of what Majed had asked me to speak to. I just want to say it is an honor, and I'll try to hurry up. It is an honor to be here today, side by side with those who stand with Israel through its difficult time of war. And now we're mourning with you for your loss, Consul General. We are pleased to align with the One Free World International Task Force for Israel at this critical juncture. We at the International Christian Embassy in Jerusalem have dedicated our ministry since 1980 to the comfort of Israel and the Jewish people, with understanding of the ancient hatred, anti-Semitism. Never did we or could anyone have imagined that Israel and the Jewish people would suffer the sheer magnitude of horror on October 7th that was planned for years by Hamas, followed by an unleashing of global anti-Semitism on a scale not seen since the Holocaust. This onslaught has afflicted the Jewish community and beyond. We at ICJ Canada stand with the Jewish people and declare You are not alone. We join those here today and also those who are united in support of Israel. We remember the hostages and their families. We pray for the state of Israel daily, actually, 2 hours a day, every day since October 7th, with about 1,000 intercessors. We pray that the state of Israel, as it fights the terror, Hamas, and those who advocate for it. Israel is the only free and democratic society where Christians and other minorities can live in peace, a country grounded upon the foundation of democratic principles. Christian minister William Heckler was Theodore Herzl's mentor, who stood with him in his vision of a Jewish homeland at the turn of the 20th century. From then to now, Christian Zionists stand in support of the Jewish state. In empathy, we too feel the affliction that October 7th has caused Israel and the Jewish communities. To Israel and Jewish people, I say, we at ICJ Canada stand by your side in friendship during this challenging time, in comfort and in tangible ways. We continue to earnestly pray for the state of Israel to prevail against Hamas and to return to peace, experience healing. We shall continue with you to stand against the scourge of anti-Semitism, and evil will not win. Thank you.
Can we put our hands together again for Donna Holbrook?